This is my 1995 Eclipse GSX, and I always hated these cars because they would destroy my Trans Am off the line. But then I decided to buy one, and now I love it. And today, we are gonna make it faster and sound like this. Now, the internet will tell you that you can't have a fast and reliable DSM, but I disagree. I bought my Eclipse mostly stock outside of a full exhaust system, and after going around and sorting out everything that was broken mechanically, I decided to throw an entire table of performance parts at the car. I upgraded the intercooler and all of the cold side piping, installed a free-flowing intake, a cool sounding blow-off valve, and a boost controller and wideband gauge. So now when I want to set the car to kill, I can do so at the press of a button, and we can monitor and make sure everything is safe. Now, I've definitely made this car better without affecting its reliability, but at some point, I'm gonna have to throw some big mods at the Eclipse GSX to make it much faster, and that point is right now that the totally 90s turbo timer has timed out. Now, we have a decent base with our complete exhaust system, and we did the intercooler and all the piping as well, but we need to attack this little guy right here, the turbo. We need more turbo. First step is removing the air intake system, which if you guys were around for the last video, you know I installed this really nice shiny one, but the car did not like running without the mass airflow sensor. So I just temporarily put this guy back together so I can move the car around easier. I thought the new computer I'd installed in the last video was tuned for speed density because the car drove for quite some time without the mass airflow, but then it decided it was angry and it would run really poorly without it. So anyway, that is gone, and now we just have to disconnect this tube here. I think getting this fan out of the way will make life easier. One on the bottom, and then this guy just lifts right out. Intercooler tube is next. Oh, my gasket. Where'd you go? There you are. Valve cover is a perfect bolt and gasket holder. This oil feed line looks to be a pain to get to right there, but we can get to it really easily down here. We're gonna lose a little oil here, but whatever. I'm gonna leave this downpipe break free. Ugh. Sometimes you just need a little fire. Nope. There we go. Haha, nice and easy. Whew. She's hot. Hot, 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 hot. There we go. All right, downpipe is separated. Shiny tube coming out. This turbo is water cooled as well, so we gotta pull off a couple of hoses and hope we don't spill too much coolant. Not bad, not bad. There's one. There's our other one. Okay, losing a little bit on that one. Okay, stop leaking. There we go, out of sight, out of mind. That'll fix it. Yeah, I think we just have these four on top. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, those were definitely in there. Oh man, I hope these don't break. Please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. Come on. Oh yeah. All right, let's fire these up. Yes. Woo! I love you, fire and breaker bar. Okay, these were fun and I could get right on top of them. This one looks very difficult. Oh yeah, can't even get the closed end of the wrench on. Oh, this will be great. Okay, I've had fire on here for a long time. They could not have torqued this that much, right? Come on. No, that doesn't want to move. I was able to beat the closed end on. Let's see if I got enough leverage here. All right, I'm getting my foot involved. Oh, come on. I cannot get this bolt for the life of me, so we're gonna try the multi-tool. I do wish I could go lower, but I tried that. I'm gonna run into the actual manifold. I might have to grind the rest away. This stinks. We're getting there, we're getting there. I had to replace the blade, but now it's cutting through pretty nice. So close. Come on. All right, well, it was nice to get that part off, but we still have to grind. We didn't get to the base of the bolt. It really stinks. The piece is so hot, it's sizzling on all the coolant. Right now, I'm gonna use my die grinder right in the middle. And the reason I'm in the middle and not on the sides is because once we get to the shaft of the bolt, this should break off. You can see it's double washered, so we just have this thin area here to get through. All right, that's enough grinding air hammer time. Oh, it's moving. There we go. We got it. Ha-ha! All right, here we go. Turbo is going to drop out. Okay, she's free. It's moving. I just gotta pull it back from the exhaust. Oh, the stud is killing me. There we go. Whew. Oh no. What is that? Is that a crack? Oh no, that looks like a crack in there. Let's take this fan out. All right, so with the fan out of the way, we got a ton of room to do this turbo. There we go, that's easy enough. All right, but what in the world is in here? Oh, I think this thing is toast. I can't have that. That is massive. It goes all the way back there. Look at that. How this wastegate wasn't sealing at all. What? How were we able to squeeze out even the 15 PSI of boost that we were? I mean, I guess it's not that big of a leak and we had this thing maxed out on the controller. Wow, this turbo is really bad. Okay, I was going to send this out and have both of the wheels upgraded, larger wheels, and then the housing kind of bored out, but I don't think I can do that anymore. Now, the Eclipse may have a bad turbocharger, but at least it doesn't have a branded title, and I know this because of CarVertical.com. CarVertical provides vehicle history reports at a great price that can save you a lot of money and headache by not buying a car like this BMW that not only has a salvage title, but got it after looking like this. In some cases, they provide detailed pictures of the accident and what the car looked like after the repairs. You can use this information not only to stay clear of a damaged car, but also to negotiate a better price. CarVertical is super easy to use. Just type in a VIN and they do the rest, and they also check to see if the mileage was rolled back, as that's something that's done more than you think, especially on wrecked cars. Now, some cars that were stolen still retain clean titles, and with CarVertical, you'll know. They also have a fantastic app, so you can use this on the go right when you're looking at a potential new car. And the best part is, if you guys click on my link down below and use coupon code LEGIT, that's gonna save you 10%, and they have really good bundle deals. If you wanna buy more than one car report, you're gonna save even more money. So do not even consider buying your next used car without running a VIN report, and the place to do it is carvertical.com, link down below. All right, guys, it took me a little while to figure out what I was gonna replace this turbo with. I kind of took it apart to get the oil line off, but it was worth the wait. Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my little friend, the Forced Performance Green Turbo. It's not green though. Here's the old versus the new, and just look at the difference in the size of the wheel and the technology. So this is a much newer turbo, so the wheels are gonna be a lot more efficient. And look at the amazing exhaust housing. Very, very smooth and, you know, not cracked like this one. So this is a big, big upgrade. And this turbo will support about up to 450 to 500 all-wheel horsepower. So this is kind of like Forced Performance's Stage 1 turbo. They have the green, which is what I have, the red right in the middle that'll do like 550 wheel, and then they have a black where some cars like this have gone like 9s and I think 8 quarter miles with their black. But this one is the one most suited for what I want this car to do, which is be a fun street car. So it's gonna provide us with the most down low power, and it's just gonna be fun to zip around and make a ton of power. And it's just gonna fit, and we don't have to customize a bunch of stuff, but there are a few things. God, this thing is so pretty. So from what I understand, this is basically a direct bolt-on in the sense that we don't need to mess around with the fans. It'll match up with even the factory downpipe and stuff like that, but it might run into a coolant pipe from what I'm reading. So let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, see right here, the compressor housing's hitting that pipe, but just barely. Let's see if we can get this kind of bolted in for a better idea of what's going on. Dude, I wonder how this thing is going to sound. I mean, we were leaking all that exhaust before. Can't wait to hear this, guys. We're gonna fire this up as soon as I get it all bolted in. With that cracked manifold before, we were not creating the right amount of boost. Definitely not lower RPM. Oh, is that it? That's not bad. I don't even think the compressor housing is technically touching the coolant pipe, but we can clearance. And what's awesome is we get to eliminate this pipe here that used to go to the turbo, and we don't even have to make any modifications to the intercooler because this just happens to line up perfectly down down here. The downpipe's gonna line up as well. I just stuck in the passenger side fan, that fits. Now, the big question, will the driver's side fit? This was not installed on the car when I bought it because it wouldn't fit with the intercooler piping the previous owner was using. And let's see what we got. Yes. Everything fits perfectly. The downpipe will move over that way in a few moments. Yes. This turbo is a great example of why you should figure out your car's goals before you start ordering parts. Bigger is not always better. And for what I'm doing with this car, this turbo is absolutely perfect. It fits like a glove and it's going to rip. So now that we know everything fits, let's get this turbo back off so I can seal it. I do think I'm gonna make a little dent in that pipe, even though I probably don't have to. Oh, and I'm gonna leave you guys a link down below to Forced Performance. They are a really good American company that's been in the DSM game since the very beginning. Look at this, my glove has turned into a Batman cape flopping around in the wind. Get out of here. But now I'm gonna get dirty. I'm gonna leave the left hand with no glove. I'm righty, I don't need you. Get out of here. Don't worry, you'll be back home soon. Look at how sweet this thing is, and take a look at that wastegate flap. It's perfect. It's the little things in life. I made a mark in the aluminum pipe where we need to dent it in a little. And on a hollow aluminum pipe, you should put a little heat into it if you're gonna bend it. All right. Now, a ball peen hammer works really well, but I don't have one here at my shop, so I'm using this. I think this is part of a suspension kit or something, but it's rounded. I'm just gonna give it some hits with the hammer. All right, cool. So we made a little dent right there. I think that's perfect. I'm preparing the turbo to go on, so we have a new exhaust stud. There's one stud for the downpipe. That's gonna help us line it up. Then we have to transfer our oil feed fitting right here. All right, tighten this up. There we go. Now they do make gaskets for the turbo flange, but what I like to use is some of this ultra copper RTV. So this is meant for exhaust systems for exactly what I'm using it for. And I run this on the Turbo Trans Am. It's been about 15 years with no issues, so I'm going for it. And this stuff I'm gonna spread out a little bit. Just kind of go to the outside. Okay, there is our seal. And we're also gonna seal up the downpipe in the same way. There we go, yay. All right, spread this guy out too. Look at that, nice and pretty and orange. And clean up any excess that might be inside, like that. This is all on the exhaust side, so no biggie here. What's going on? Guys, I'm so weirdly excited about this Eclipse because I'm typically like an American car guy and a German car guy, and I've never really owned a Japanese car, even though this was made in Normal, Illinois. But you know what I mean? It's a turbo 4-cylinder Japanese car. But man, have I wanted one of these for a long time. All right, I'm gonna hook the downpipe first like that. And then we'll go up like so. Obviously you're working with RTV, so you don't wanna smear this around too much. Okay, we'll get this bolt started. Hold it in there. Kind of backhanding the turbo here to get it to line up. Okay, whew, got one started. There are less bolts now. A couple of washers each, that's how it was. Oh, is it started? No. It's not started at all. All right, two of them are started, that's started. And I was able to find a bolt at the hardware store for, you know, the one that was really easy to remove and awesome. I gotta say, these front bolts, they're not enjoyable, that's for sure. Gotta use opening wrenches and stuff. I don't take kindly to these front bolts. Country boy working on his DSM. I don't take kindly. I don't take kindly is such a cool phrase. God, I wish we used that more in the city. I'm gonna start it up. Chicago guys, let's start it up. I don't take kindly. Say it with me now. Turbo's all bolted up. It is downpipe time. Man, it's so nice they give you this one stud so everything lines up, unlike this. All right, before we get too crazy with that, let's get some more bolts in. Like butter. No, not like butter. It's not threading at all. If it's not going smoothly, what's it like? Oh, I got it. We're good, like butter. Downpipe is done. Now it's time for our oil feed. So we have an aftermarket steel braided line that should work very well. This is how it was before. And fits right in. And then it goes right back at that 90, and we'll wait to tighten all of this until the fan's in. And when it comes to important stuff like that, I set alarms on my phone, so I know that I'll be in that area in about an hour. I gotta remember to tighten up the oil feed or oil's gonna squirt all over the place. So I'd like to take pictures and give myself notes. All right, so I just blew out all the metal shavings that were in this little section of the pipe from grinding away at that bolt on the turbo. We don't want metal in our engine. And now I can slide this back on. There we go. All right, and this one will go on the turbo compressor housing. Get on there. Perfect. All right, it's fans time. Then the cold air induction system, and then we are done under the hood, I think. So we got the metal fan on this side that has the exhaust housing, so the hot side of the turbo. Let's get these started. And then they run a larger plastic one on this side, closer to the cold side of the turbo. It's kind of smart, unless this is some cheap aftermarket, I don't know. There we go. This is plastic, so, you know, don't go crazy with an impact like I'm doing. This is metal, so you can go crazy. I'm just kidding. Connectors, good. Aha. Oh, hey. Yeah, I'm stealing stuff from the C4 Corvette because I don't want to run to the parts store for vacuum tube, okay? I just want it to run. We're almost there. It's cold air intake time. No mass airflow sensor. Speed density style right now. And I'm about to forget a hose clamp. That's okay. There we go. Easy. Look at that. That's sweet. That's that. Definitely need a new coolant overflow at some point in time in my life. That clicks down there. It goes like that. Okay. All right. I think we're done under the hood. Famous last words. All right. Let's fire this thing up. All right. Perfect. Perfect. So it might run for like a minute or so because this is the totally stock tune and it's set up for a mass airflow sensor. So before it gets into any kind of closed loop, it'll run, but then it won't run anymore. But should give me enough time just to look around. We don't have any exhaust leaks. Everything sounds good. All right. I don't want to go too crazy. Once we get the tune in here, we'll rev it up and see if we get any cool sounds out of all of this. But we are looking good, people. Now that we've taken care of feeding this engine a ton more boosted air, we need something else. What is it? What do we need? Air and fuel. We need fuel. And to give our GSX more fuel, we have this right here, a fuel pump for a Hellcat. So this is a 525 liter per hour fuel pump from my friends at Aeromotive. This is going to support a ton of power and it should be a fairly easy install. And this is the most random table ever. We have the Chevy Express van transmission, valve body, battery cells from the Space Van, and some really big old 90s Champion sweatpants that one of my neighbors gave me as a rag. So yeah. Now the 95 Eclipse interior isn't exactly, okay, that was really way too easy. I was gonna say, it isn't exactly a Mercedes-Benz interior with 8 million little screws. It's just clips. So here is our super cool 90s textured leather bottom seat. Actually in really good shape. And we'll get this out of here. So this is to be expected. This car in a previous life had a bunch of stereo equipment, including a screen in the dash. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of this, but imagine the show Pimp My Ride. There used to be a screen here where the airbag was, and then I think a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 connected to it, and this thing had a crazy stereo and everything like that. So yeah, that stuff's gone. There's no airbag, no speakers, no nothing now. I will definitely be putting a stereo back in this car. No PlayStation 1 or 2 and a screen where the airbag goes. I gotta get an airbag, but right now we're just worried about fuel. So we wanna take this cover off and it should reveal our factory fuel pump sending unit where we have to modify the Hellcat pump and take out a drill bit to something in here for increased flow. What do we got? All right, cool. Very factory looking, excellent. All right, main connector is off. All right, first things first, let's get our main line off. Okay, someone's definitely been in here. Kind of mangled up this fitting here, and this is not spinning on the hose. It's all bunched up. All right, main feed coming off. And this does have a true return line, which is really nice. So I'll take this clamp off and slide this guy off. And this is from the other side of the tank. So this is a saddle tank, and it siphons fuel from that side to fill up this side. They share fuel. Next, we have a plastic ring we need to remove. There's probably a special tool for this. There's for most cars, but you can do this too. Usually these aren't too tight. There we go. And now we can do it by hand. Okay, this is coming out. Get out, get out. There we go. All right, so this is the part where you're gonna want your 1995 navy blue Champion sweatpants. And we're gonna pull this up, and there's a seal here. And don't just rip it right out because you have a float to contend with. You don't wanna bend the float arm. Okay, that's right here. There's our float, and you put that on the Champion sweatpants, and you take it out so you don't get fuel all over your interior. To the table. All right, old, new. Let's bring these two together. Wait a minute. This is already an aftermarket pump, isn't it? Made in the USA. Hang on here, people, hang on. Let's get some tools. If we remove this screw, we should be able to slide this pump out. So get this out, get this clip out, and this. Okay, there's our fuel pump. There's our factory connector. And what do we got here? Yep, this is a Walbro pump. And this should be a 255. Yeah, I know that part number. So this is a 255 liter per hour pump. So definitely a nice upgrade. We actually might be able to get away with this if I wasn't planning on running E85, but we have this from Aeromotive. It's a really nice piece, so why not? This thing's probably really old. So the way that that fuel pump seals is a little O-ring right in here. We're gonna pop this out. Looks just like an injector O-ring. And no reason to reinvent the wheel. We're essentially gonna do the same thing, but I just wanna make sure that this is going to line up and that we're even remotely close. Okay, that looks good. And we want this clamp to fit back in here, and that lines up too. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's important that the pump sits in about the same spot because that's where it's gonna be picking up the fuel. This is the bottom, and this is the top. I found a nice blue injector O-ring that fits in here nicely. It matches my gloves, and I'm protecting my left hand today because of what I did to it yesterday. The right hand has just been treated way, way too nice. I'm out of gloves if you haven't noticed, and yeah, I was at the store earlier today and forgot to buy them. But anyway, we'll pop this guy down into place. This is a perfect fit. So nice. There we go. And I'm gonna double up on the O-rings. So this is a new injector O-ring for my Grand National. They're all pretty much the same. And I want to put that one there. Spray a little bit of silicone, and we'll slide this in like so. It's a really nice fit. Push this down all the way so it touches the blue O-ring and is all nice and sealed up. That's looking sweet. All right, now we just install this clamp right here, and we get this guy in the mix. Put it all together with this wonderful screw, this nice 1995 DSM screw. I like to keep my DSM all DSM. And we'll tighten it up. Oh man, this is looking good. Oh, solid, rock solid. Since we know the pump fits really well, I made a mark here and one right here. We gotta get to drilling. So we'll vise this guy up like so. And we'll give this a good old fashioned center punch. There we go. And now we can drill this out. Flip this around and we'll drill out the bracket too. And I'll show you here why I'm doing all this drilling. I love these center punches. And your drill doesn't go all over the place. As you guys may have guessed, we needed those holes in order to run the wiring. We don't want to make a big one for this connector, so we're going to de-pin. Get off, blue thing. There you go. Okay. All right, then we can use our little de-pinning tool and pull this out. And for added protection, we're going to put some heat shrink tubing over both of these wires. So this is going to act as another layer of insulation. All right, just like that. Since we have the power and ground isolated even further, we're going to go another step further with some more heat shrink here. Just really make this nice and factory style professional. All right, good deal. I ended up drilling the hole even bigger, and I'm gonna use a file on it now. Just knock off any sharp edges. And now our wiring will have plenty of room inside, like that. Slide the fuel pump back down. Click. Oh, this is beautiful. Now we can feed our wiring through here. There is the ground, and then the power trying to get through. Let me in. I'm the power. You need me. Get out of my way, ground. But I complete the circuit, power. I know, but you're getting in my way. There's room for both of us. Don't worry. Oh, hey, sorry. I blacked out for a minute. All right, so then we pull it on through like so. This is looking good. All right, now we can really mount this fuel pump like that, and with our DSM screw. Okay, nice and tight. Oh, I like it, guys. This is awesome. I love stuff like this. This is so sweet. Not that this is needed at all, but I like overkill just as much as the next guy. We are gonna put a big zip tie. I mean, seriously, this is rock solid, so this isn't gonna do anything, but I like big zip ties. This is gonna be like that guy that comes in and does nothing, but just takes credit for something. There we go. Good job, zip tie. Yeah, I did it all. That's all me. Never going anywhere. We just have one more thing to drill out, and that is this guy right here. So this connects to the tube for the siphon, and when you increase the amount of fuel you're pumping in your DSM, you need to increase the size of this hole. Just a little bit. So we have a reverse drill bit. It's nice so the shavings come right out. And this is a 1/8 bit, and that's it. So now we'll have a little bit more fuel flow coming back into the tank to feed this guy. Now, since we have a little hole right here, we don't want fuel vapors to come into the car. So we're gonna use this stuff called E6000. I've been using this forever. It's an industrial strength adhesive. Not sponsored or anything, it's just good stuff. If I could get it in here, I'll show you. There we go. So this is gonna be fuel resistant and it will dry and still be flexible. All right, I'm kind of making a mess. Let's use the remnants of the blue glove here. And we're just going to do one of these jobbers. Just get it around the hole so it makes a nice little seal and also insulates our wiring even more from the hole. That's it. Cool. With our fuel pump ready to go, we have to get to some wiring, so I put together a nice little power circuit. And the reason we need to upgrade the wiring is because, well, look at the factory wiring. It's kind of small for that big pump, but we will be stealing the signal from this. So the wire with the fuse is gonna go right to the battery. And we'll screw this down. And this car already had a battery relocation kit done. So we're gonna take this, run it through this little hole here, and let's get this panel out of the way. Oh, how beautiful. Yeah, I know guys, I got a lot of cleaning and stuff to do. That's for a later interior restoration video. And now we just need this red wire to come out. Get out. Okay, right there. Cool. Excellent. All right, we will need to do just a little bit of cleaning because we need to use something with adhesive right here. And anytime I can get away with not drilling into one of my cars, I prefer that, especially when all we need to do is mount a relay. Some people will just use a self-tapping screw right into the floor. Just no need, guys. This relay weighs nothing. So you can use one of these command strips, stick it on like that, and she's ready to go. And then we're gonna mount our relay right here. And now when we put this back, it totally hides the relay, and then there is a panel that goes over this whole thing. This is the relay harness. I have it labeled, and this is gonna be our 12 volt to the battery. Let's strip off a little bit more insulation. There we go, that's good. All right, let's combine our green and red. Be the forces of the green and red power wires? I don't know. Let's put these together. And we'll slide this over. You wanna get the solder right in the middle, like so, right there. And then some heat gun action. All right, so that solder is going through the strands of wiring, connecting the two together, and this will be totally weatherproof, not that there's really any weather in the back of your car. All right, that's good. The rest of the wiring is gotta go through here. Hello. All right, this is so nice and easy to work on old 90s cars. You can run wiring like through anything really. All right, just like that, we have our wiring. So on the factory harness, these 3 smaller wires are for the level sensor. We want to leave those alone, but the one with the blue stripe is power. This is ground. We need to snip those like so. There, we'll strip our old power wire. Now there's many ways to skin a cat, and I'm gonna be using a butt connector back here, so we won't be using the solder joint because we have a fuel tank with vapors right here, and I don't feel like heating that up and then, you know, blowing up. I don't wanna blow up. I don't recommend you guys blow up either. And this is a fine connection as well, if you do it right. Like that. And there's a lot of debate in the wiring community, if that's a thing, with solder versus those solder connections versus butt connectors. Everybody's got their opinions. I've done it all, and just do whatever method you're doing properly and it'll probably be okay. All the wiring is complete minus the ground. So we're gonna use one of the seat bolts. Perfect. Fuel pump wiring is all done. Our E6000 goop is all dry. This unit is ready to go back to its home. And we'll just slide it in like so. It's gonna point this way. A little silicone. And this should drop right in. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Now before you connect anything, go ahead and put your ring back on and spin it down. Okay, it's pretty tight. You don't have to go too crazy. It is plastic, but we got a good seal there. And now we're just gonna go around and reconnect our factory fuel lines. And if you guys are wondering, yes, these factory fuel lines will support about 500 wheel horsepower because it has that full return. We're all good. I've got all the lines back on, so now we can plug this in, click this one in too. All right, I had this side disconnected as well, so that's good. All right, let's test. All right, we're gonna go key on now. Oh, I hear stuff. Hey, it primed. I don't hear anything leaking on the ground. We got fuel. All right, so we have our turbo, we have our fuel system done. Now we need a base tune, and this is going to turn this car into a speed density car, so no more mass airflow sensor, and we are running the ECM Link computer that we installed a few videos ago. So right now on the computer, I'm not actually doing anything. I am linked up with my tuner via TeamViewer, and he is connected to the GSX, and he's writing a new file right now. So I told him what map sensor we're running, what intake air temperature sensor we're running, and a few other things like injectors, and he's able to give us a nice little bass tune so we can drive this thing. Well, this is so cool to see. I'm just like literally watching him tune my car, and he's about 45 minutes away from my shop. So 4-bar map sensor and the GM intake air temperature sensor, that's what I told him. So the same guys that tune literally 6-second GTRs and Lambos are tuning my DSM, and in a future video we'll be on the dyno with them. It's Twins Tuning, very, very nice guys, and they're working their magic. They've been in the DSM game forever, so a lot of shops started in the DSM world, then moved on to the Evos and then the GTR, so it's cool that they still do this. All right, so they're still working their magic here, and we'll learn a lot more about this tuning once we hit that dyno. But as soon as we're done, we're ready to drive. Fire in the hole! She's back, it runs great. Good job tuning Twins, this bass tune is perfect. Oh man, this is awesome. No hesitation off idle, nothing. Sing to me. All right, we just shut her down. Got a little bit of smoke here from touching the manifold. Oh, and also something I wanted to point out is that I'm not running coolant to the turbo, it's just oil right now. So the guys at Force Performance said you can do that, or you can run coolant if you'd like. I'll probably go back to running coolant a little bit later before we hit the dyno. I just didn't have all the right fittings, but anyway, yeah, here she is. All right, I've checked everything over under the hood. We are good to go. Back seat is back together as well. Perfect. All right, we do have working heat because it's like 10 degrees outside. I love how this has a power seat. We got good engine vacuum. AFR is right where it needs to be. This thing runs great. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's like quarter throttle. You just leave it and let the boost take over. Oh man, this sounds wicked. I gotta be careful on the boost because our settings from before were making up for that broken wastegate flapper, and now we don't have that. Oh, all right, started popping on me there. It overboosted for sure. Let's just turn the wastegate controller, boost controller off right now. Ease into it. We are in a bass tune. This new turbo is awesome! Now you can really hear it, and the blow-off valve and everything. Oh my gosh, I didn't know what I was missing. This is awesome. All right, hang on, you guys gotta hear this from the outside. I can't wait to go full throttle. Woo! So much fun in the summer. I mean, or in the winter, honestly. Sliding around in the snow. Woo! So I have the controller all the way down, so we're running about 13 pounds of boost right now, which is enough. We're on a bass tune, and oh my God, it already feels like 10 times faster than before when we were maxed out. It's effortless. Oh my gosh. All right, it's cold. It's cold. driving around right now. Dude, that thing looks nice. Hold on, I gotta cruise next to like, it's like a 92 GTP. I want one of those. Oh, this thing is like mint. No way, hold on, thumbs up. Yeah. You hear the thumbs up back when he looked at me kind of weird. This is so good. I can't believe I've gone this long without having, like, you know, a real import, even though some of you guys said this is a fake import, but you know what I mean. Japanese 4-cylinder turbo, all-wheel drive, manual transmission, no traction control, no ABS. I'm pretty sure this car doesn't have ABS. It's got a brake light on right now, so even if it did have ABS, it would work. But no nannies, no nothing, guys. This thing is raw, and that's what a lot of people are missing nowadays with all of these new cars with 800 little electronic gizmos and contraptions to keep you glued to the road. You don't need that. You just need a DSM. The turbo sounds like this. Yes. Oh, getting up at the same exit as the GTP. I can't believe he's driving that right now in the winter in the salt. I mean, I know I am right now too, but I bought this little rolly thing I'll show you when we get back that shoots water up. I'm gonna like totally get it all off, but this guy's just straight up daily driving. There's snow on top of it and everything, but it looks nice. This thing handles so well too. Oh, these are good. I know they got a bad rep, guys, but they're good. I'm so glad I went with the green version of the turbo because the spool up is just fantastic. I did not want anything that was going to be laggy, and that's what a lot of people have an issue with when they go import is they want a lot of power, they get too big of a turbo, and then it's just boring. It's mushy around town. You have to floor it everywhere, and this thing is spot on. It lights up immediately, and once we get this on the dyno, we're going to be on ethanol. We're going to be running, I don't know, maybe double the boost that we're running right now. Oh, dude, I'm excited. And the car's light, so like if we do 400 wheel or 450 wheel, it's gonna still be really fast, but it'll still be in that realm where I won't necessarily break everything. I mean, if you put sticky tires on it and launch it at 7,000 RPM, you're gonna break stuff, but I want a reliable DSM, something I can cruise. I already have cars that are like much faster than this, not going for any world records. I just want this thing to look primo. I mean, like, it's gonna be lowered wheels, painted. Happy place. Well, we made it. Oh man, all right. I know what you guys are thinking. I have now salted this Nevada desert car, and you're right. Let's get the salt off. See if I can time this right. Oh, almost. I'm all about timing that turbo timer, and I'm leaving that. That is so period correct. I just got this from Amazon. It was like 30 bucks. Look at that. Now we can roll right underneath the car and just get rid of all the salt and snow and nastiness. It's pretty cool. I've always wanted one, and well, it was, you know, like a 1-day free shipping order away, and now I have it. Oh yeah, get out of here, salt. Stop trying to eat my Eclipse up. God, I wish I knew that GTP guy. I'd have him come over, I would just do this for him. Anyway, I so far highly recommend you guys get one of these things if you live in a salty climate and care about your car. Wait, what happens if I just... I don't recommend doing this, but it's kind of fun. Okay. All right. Anyway, guys, I'm getting a little bit carried away. Even though it is like 10 degrees out, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about how this turned out. This car is feeling great, and we have way more mods to do. And of course, you know, one day we will make it look pretty. I know it's looking pretty sad right now. But anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this Eclipse GSX video as much as I did making it. And if you did, give it a big thumbs up. Share the video with your friends and family, your DSM friends, if you will. And most importantly, have a fantastic day. I'll see all of you in the next video. So we're getting the air in and the air out, but we can get more of it in and out. And we need, yeah. So let's get this turbo off. I want to reseal it, and I do think that I'm going to put a, so let's get this turbo, now our new, and we'll give this a center punch. Okay, yeah. Hey, where's my center punch? That's cool. Cool, got all day. Center punch, where are you? You're literally gone. Bermuda Triangle over here. Fuel pump wiring is all done and looks, fuel pump wiring is all done. Looks pretty nice, okay.